Hi, this is Matt once again. Welcome back to another video. This is a paid request for Jonathan. Thank you so much for that. For those interested, requesting any type of videos, random thoughts, streams, commentaries, video game playthrough for an hour, full playthrough, review, re-review, whatever the case may be, feel free to send it either directly to my PayPal. I do have a Cash App as well. Links are down below in the info box. I will get to it as soon as I possibly can. For those who sent them, thank you. I do appreciate it. Now, this is for Jonathan and Zoom from 2006, which is one of those things where I had heard of this film before. I remember seeing the cover of this film, never bothered to see it because I'm like, I don't care. And I like Tim Allen. Now, it's directed by the guy who did Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey. He also did Tom and Huck, which I reviewed not too long ago. And it's pretty much a family kids film dealing with a superhero group. More so about kind of their development in terms of their training. Then they have like this little battle at the end, and that's it. Now, it's a film that I would not call that good, but something I didn't hate. I mean, there's elements that are pretty embarrassing. In particular, Chevy Chase in it, I think is embarrassing. But I don't know, it just kind of one of those films I'm watching going, yeah, eh. It's a lesser version of Sky High, which was another superhero kids film. Let me just go into the plot so I can explain better. So, telling in comic book form, that was kind of an interesting idea. There was the Zenith team, this group that had powers, which was Tim Allen's character, his brother, and some other people. Well, some gamma was used to advance powers. The brother went bad, killed the rest of the team. One leads to another. The brother was thought to be killed, and Tim Allen was thought to have lost his powers. It's 20 years later. Tim Allen is working some dump of a job. Seems like the only thing he can do is make his finger move really fast. And actually 30 years later. It's 30 years later. And the military wants Tim Allen back because, unbeknownst to Tim, his brother is coming back. And so the military wants to find a new team, new Zenith team, new group of superheroes for this oncoming threat. So they bring Tim Allen back, just telling him, we want you to, well, they force him to come there and go, we want you to help train this new group of kids. Courteney Cox is there. She's a bit of a fangirl. She loves superheroes. She loved those comics that Tim Allen and his group were based on. And they do a little bit of the, okay, she's going to slip all over type of running dad joke, but thankfully they stopped that. And I like Courteney Cox. I thought she was rather sweet and somewhat naive and just sweet nature. And I like Tim Allen. This thing. Tim Allen is one of those guys that I grew up with watching Home Improvement. Not all the time, but a lot of times he could help carry a movie for me. I like his mannerisms. I liked his tone. He's done better. Galaxy Quest is way better than this. If you need to see one or the other, Galaxy Quest all the way. But I liked his brand of humor. So maybe it depends how much you like Tim Allen. That doesn't mean I love every film Tim Allen is in, but it does help that he stars in it. Chevy Chase is the scientist that creates studies the group, creates, well, not a whole lot of gadgets, but he does other things behind the scenes. Chevy Chase, fuck, in 2006 he seemed really old, let alone nowadays, but even this, he seemed ancient. And the stuff they have Chevy Chase do is just really embarrassing. I mean, there's a fucking scene when the kids play a joke on him. He's doing like this thing with botany. They trap him in, and what the hell do? They he's hit by lightning and there's a stunt and a blast in his face. Like, what the fuck, Chevy Chase? What happened to you? Oh, you're a dick to everybody, so now they don't want to hire you anymore because your films weren't making money. And you're a dick. So they get this group, they do a whole montage of tests, and a lot of the songs, not all, but a lot of the songs are done by Smash Mouth, which I don't mind Smash Mouth. Rest in peace to the lead singer. That's definitely nostalgia to hear Smash Mouth. Although there's no All-Star. I'm surprised. There's no All-Star. It's just like in every other movie. But they have the Ordinary Superhero. That song among a few others. And again, I don't mind Smash Mouth. If you hate Smash Mouth, you're probably not going to like this. And the other songs are songs that were familiar in that time period, but they're songs I like. Five for Fighting, Superman, Enrique Iglesias' Hero. I like those songs. Call it nostalgia, call it a trip to the past, but yeah, I actually like the soundtrack. So the group of kids, some fail. There's like, and again, this is where it's like the jokes aren't the best. There's a kid who can create big boogers that explode. There's someone that eats paper and spits it out like that. The ones that make it are this teen, although he looks like he's in his 20s, who to go invisible. This little girl who's super strong. Spencer Breslin, who I remember as the young Bruce Willis in Disney's The Kid. And he's been in other stuff as well. I think he's even been in some other Tim Allen films. He's this kid who can inflate himself, and the special effects look fucking awful. They look awful. To the point I'm almost hypnotized by how bad it looks. Especially when it's its inflated head, CG. I mean, what the fuck? And then you have, I think there's four. Oh, Kate Mara, who can move stuff with her mind, which is funny, because later she would be Sue Storm and Fan Four Stick. That Fantastic Four. Sue Storm who can move stuff with her mind. So. And in all truth, this should be a rant. In all truth, is this a good movie? No, it's not. It's just from time to time, there's a little bit of charm in there. But yeah, if you want to watch something better, Sky High and other stuff. But yeah, I like Tim Allen. I like the soundtrack. As embarrassing as Chevy Chase was, it was nice to see him. I like Courteney Cox. I don't mind the kids for what they are. Some of the ideas are kind of funny, like the little girl wants to sleep in the same room Tim Allen's at. So she's going to move the bed, but it's connected to the wall, but she just moves it. You just see this bed. Shh. And Tim Allen's like, that was connected to the wall. Some of the lines Tim Allen says to Courteney Cox is kind of funny, like, hey, are you bipolar? It's a comic book. And they do a decent amount of montages and training. Now, again, there's a lot of flaws. There are times they do these transitions that got on my nerves. That shows like the logo of the team. It's like, da-da-da-da, or da-da-da-da-da. They did that so much that it got irritating. If you're trying to get into the film, then this takes you out of the film and just distracting. The threat to the brother is barely a threat because other than once in a while going to a screen where it shows there's 6 days left, there's not really a whole lot to really make us think this is going to be much of a threat. I don't think they really did much in that build-up. Tim Allen doesn't really want to train, but then, as time goes on, he kind of gets to the rhythm, and the kids start trusting him, and he starts helping them out, takes them out on this UFO that they can barely control. They get drive-through at Wendy's. Talk about product placement. So drive through at Wendy's. And Squiddy from Laverne and Shirley is working at Wendy's. Very random cameo. Again, maybe what I was saying before about thinking the film was meh is more because of Tim Allen. I like Tim Allen. I like seeing him in it. But there's a lot of better Tim Allen films as well. I like some of his lines. I like when one of the kids developed this thing about the mind and they could kind of see through the hallway without leaving the room. And as he's doing it, Tim Allen says something like, "Stay out of the ladies' room." Just off the cuff. For some reason, that made me chuckle. I don't know why. Maybe just like Tim Allen's cadence, his again, just a fan of the guy. Spoilers, you find out Courteney Cox has powers as well. She could blow super powered, but also comes off like a rainbow. And I got a sense that the kids and Tim Allen like kind of did work together. Like I kind of bought that they grew to like each other and grew to care for each other as a team because they spent so much time with training and with developing. It's just that you're not going to get a whole lot of a payoff. Because when the Tim Allen's brother comes back, his name is Concussion. It's pretty much the kids are doing a little bit of thing to Concussion. Tim Allen sings one of the kids. They go, "Wow, you could go super fast." "I guess I can." Goes back to get his suit, comes back, gets blasted a bit by his brother. The kids help him out. There's this big thing, this funnel where Tim Allen spins really quickly that dissipates it, and something about it makes it so Concussion's now not evil anymore. I was not really paying attention, so I fucked that up, but I don't know if the movie really paid much attention to that either. The effects are really meh. They're very meh to very lame. The battle ends a bit too easily and too wrapped up. Like, oh, the brother, he's fine, and I guess he's going to be fine, and I guess he's going to, I don't know, do what? Be part of the team? Go to Arkansas? I don't know where the fuck he's going after this. You think, like, throughout the film they would have shown flashbacks of Tim Allen and his brother conversing with each other, hang out with each other. We would have seen, like, part of the old team in flashbacks to really get into Tim Allen's character. We really don't. Rip Torn is in the film as the general, which kind of common practice around this time. Honestly, you just see him as Zed and Men in Black and get the same or more out of it. So I'm not really selling the film. Because the film doesn't really need to be sold. Because I don't know, for some reason I didn't hate it. I don't know why. But is it that good of a film? No. It's not, to be fair. The more I think about it. Like I said, I think I'm just trying to be more kind. Just because the fact it took so much time to build up just did make it seem different from others. I'm just so tired of superhero films, so seeing something to try a little bit different and just having more build up than, cities falling apart and cities blowing up. It's probably one of the reasons I didn't mind the Fantastic Four movie from 2014 or whatever. To have like a little different take, a little bit more simplified, a little bit more low-key take. Although I guess I wouldn't call this low-key. But I thought like the four kids didn't annoy me. But they weren't anything that grand or special either. Tim Allen got a few funny lines out of him. Courteney Cox had that kind of sweet nature to her throughout the film. But yeah, the film itself, I mean, if you're looking for action, there's really not much of any of that in this. The final battle you could call almost a bit anticlimactic. Like I said, a bit too wrapped up, a bit too easy of a resolution. I don't know. I mean, I guess maybe if you're nostalgic and saw this when you were a kid, which I didn't, or you're like me and you're a big Tim Allen fan, sure. But again, it's just there's so many superhero films out there. There's so many superhero, even family superhero films out there. Again, I could say even Sky High was better. Sky High was a bit more polished. The effects looked a tad better. And you had Bruce Campbell in there as well. And Kurt Russell. Like, come on now. So, I like Tim Allen, but it's hard to beat Kurt Russell and Bruce Campbell. So, for the most part, it's family friendly. Although, like, during the training bit, one of the kids is, like, talking about gas and he farts. I didn't, yeah, talk about the other kid with the big booger, you know. When the Spencer Breslin does his test, Tim Allen pisses him off and he inflates. Tim Allen goes, "What kind of body part is that?" I think it's the stomach, but the fear was that, is that his ass? No, I think it was his stomach. So there are some of those kind of lousy, lame brain jokes. So yeah, as I'm talking about, I'm doing more negative than positive. So I don't know, just something about the low key vibe of. I think just because like I got a sense of just them hanging out, having fun, playing baseball, horsing around. By doing that, I got a sense of them actually caring about each other. I got a sense of Tim Allen growing to care and wanting to help these kids. Again, the kids didn't annoy the piss out of me. I already mentioned Tim Allen, Courteney Cox, but I liked them. So it made it that easier to swallow some of the other bullshit, if that makes sense. Maybe it doesn't, I don't know. And some of the tunes for back in the day, it was like, this has been a while since I've heard those songs, actually. I mean, you could hear them all the time back then, but nowadays, Five for Fighting Superman or Enrique, yeah, kind of fun to listen. And, you know, Smash Mouth, I don't mind the band. It's nice to hear some of their songs and not just All Star. But yeah, I mean, you got the Wendy's product placement, and you got the pretty lousy CGI effects, and you got the, yeah. So yeah, it is what it is. It is what it is. Take that for what you will. With that said, thanks for watching. Take care, and we'll see you guys in the next video. Bye bye for now.